There's a lot of videos on YouTube about Edgar Wright.
Yeah, boy!
He's got a very strong style that's interesting to break down, and above all else, his movies are fun, and there's a lot to say about them. Plenty has been said about his visual style, editing and dialogue.
No luck catching them killers then?
It's just the one killer, actually.
But today, I'm going to talk about how he uses sound. But first, what do we mean by this? It might seem like an obvious question, but in film, what is sound?
Hello, college!
Well, there's generally three types: dialogue,
You should be thanking me.
music, and what I'm going to call sound effects. Without music, a scene can be very dull. But with music, it becomes one of the most iconic scenes of all time. It's the same with dialogue. The words people speak often do a lot of heavy lifting in revealing the plot or their character.
Where's Pancake's house?
But on the other hand, it's more difficult to gauge the effectiveness of a film's sound effects. So today, we're going to give them the love they deserve by looking at Edgar Wright's best sounding movie, Scott Pilgrim.
Scott! What?
And there's no better place to start than here.
Scott, if your life had a face, I would punch it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Did you hear that? Listen again, but this time pay attention to the sound of the computer.
Scott, if your life had a face, I would punch it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
That's the Windows XP notification sound. In your mind, we associate this noise with noticing something, so it makes sense that we hear it when Scott notices what Kim has just said.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Let's continue the scene.
Like, do I have ulterior motives or something? I'm offended, Kim.
Wounded even?
Neil, you were saying about she seems awesome?
That's the Windows XP hardware removed sound, and we hear it when Scott removes himself from what Kim is saying and moves the conversation on.
Neil, you were saying about she seems awesome?
These small sound effects are subtle, and when explained like this, seem quite cliche, but they make the scene so much more effective, because if they weren't there, it would feel completely different.
Scott, if your life had a face, I would punch it.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Kim is meaner.
Wounded even?
Scott seems
Neil,
more
you were saying
offended.
about-
It lacks Edgar Wright's signature sense of humour, and the scene just doesn't really work.
This is boring.
But all of these are very subtle sound effects. They go alongside Foley and ambience tracks and work more on a subconscious level.
Told you.
Wallace, stop!
He's not even conscious.
But we also have the not so subtle sound effects, which Edgar Wright uses too, in scenes like this.
Take car, go to Mum's, kill Phil, sorry, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Sure, the editing is doing a lot, but it's all underpinned by the sound design. There's a lot of whooshes and swooshes, but they don't feel out of place, and you expect them to be there.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
But it's stuff like the computer, and this, that gives Scott Pilgrim's sound design a unique edge. It goes beyond simple whooshes and swooshes and uses more unconventional sound effects like this.
So, what can I get you?
It's not a standard beep, but a glitchy, video gamey sound that fits the film's
Is
vibe.
there anywhere you don't work?
They're called jobs, something a f***ball like you wouldn't know anything about.
It's the same for labelling the room, or when Scott's using the bathroom. And even when they do use whooshes, they're not your normal whoosh.
Rather than accompanying whip pans with whooshes, we accompany whip pans with diegetic sounds, such as in the coffee shop, their cappuccino whooshes.
This gives the film a completely unique sonic identity that's consistent with the film's script and direction. Not many films sound like Scott Pilgrim. And to put this into context, let's look at how Edgar Wright's audio team uses sound as a transition point in previous films. Sure, it's fast-paced and dynamic, but not super unexpected. Compare it to this.
Oh, hey, it's tonight. At the
In Scott Pilgrim, the audio transition is just as interesting and unique as the visual transition.
Sorry, what are we doing?
I told you like 50 times.
It can be done by merging sounds together.
What? It's like 6 a.m.
Or using diegetic sounds. But they're not just used to cut between scenes, they're weaved throughout them and work in conjunction with the visual effects, editing and dialogue.
We need stalkers.
What might appear to be simple scenes have a rhythm of low-level sound effects running through them that are absolutely vital.
So what you're saying right now is we are dating?
It's as if every beat in every scene has some kind of sound effect to accompany and accentuate it.
This is my cool gay roommate, Wallace Wells.
Hi! Hi!
But what's most impressive is when the sound design is used to give new meaning to the script, like the computer,
Wait, what?
or this scene
You
here.
totally came. Yes, I did totally come.
The feedback that accompanies Ramona's look adds a subtle awkwardness to the scene, because we associate it with stuff like this. And it's the same here.
Hey.
This is Wallace, his roommate.
Hey.
This is my boyfriend, Jimmy.
Hey.
Oh, and this is Knives. Hey!
Hey!
With each feedback noise having a slightly different tone and emotional response attached to it.
Even the feedback, we spent a day in rehearsal room and just played around and just came up with sonic stuff that at the time you don't know if it's going to work or not, but it was just experimentation.
And this technique is established from the very first scene. This is the first shot, and when the camera pans down, what do we hear? A video game sound. But not just any video game sound, it's actually the opening to Zelda: A Link to the Past. When we cut to the scene, we realise these sounds are supposed to be coming from the DS young Neil is playing.
What do you play?
Zelda.
Just like the computer and the microphone feedback, these diegetic sound effects heighten the dialogue, giving audible cues to the emotional beats.
That's for me! That's for me! That's for me! Hey, you're here!
When Scott is happy, a cheerful tone plays.
Have you even kissed her? We almost held hands once, but then she got embarrassed.
When the others are suspicious, a mysterious tone plays.
She's Chinese. Wicked.
And when the scene ends, we get a sort of wrapping up sound effect.
Hi.
For those who know Zelda, this scene is extra rewarding. The first sound we hear is the opening sound effect from the game, so it's associated with a beginning. When we first see Knives, we hear a triumphant fanfare that plays in Zelda when you get an item. But Edgar Wright and the sound team weren't expecting everyone to know each specific Zelda sound effect, or even the Windows XP sound effects, but they were made by the original designers with a specific purpose or emotion in mind, and in the film, they're used for a similar purpose, so the mood of the sound matches the mood of the film.
That guy on bass?
Oh, yeah?
That's Todd!
But what's important though is that these sound effects aren't just thrown in whenever.
You know?
There's a very precise rhythm to them.
Oh no!
A rhythm that matches and works with the dialogue and the music. They directly respond to what's being said.
Nigga Scott.
Nigga Scott.
There's often not a single beat where the audio isn't doing something.
Is Scott here?
You know what? He just left.
And when there is a brief moment of silence,
Really?
Yeah.
it's used for comedic effect.
Sorry.
This rhythm works in a similar, albeit more subtle way to an audience track in a sitcom. Basically helps telegraph the emotional reaction the filmmakers want to elicit.
Well, what are you doing? I need something to sit on.
Scott Pilgrim just uses more inventive sound effects than an audience.
I have to pee.
Except for this one scene.
And I'd say that's kind of an Edgar sonic signature,
Can you play the drums?
Yes.
where he likes to use diegetic sounds off screen to reinforce what is happening on screen.
So... how do you guys all know each other?
The sound team also wanted to make sure each fight scene sounds unique. The first fight is more arcadey.
In the first fight with Matthew Patel, all the punch and the impact sounds are very specifically 8-bit video game type impacts.
Chris Evans' fight sounds more like an action movie, with lots of fast punches and kicks.
The punches in the Lucas Lee, him being a big movie star, are very Indiana Jones.
Todd's fight has more of a sci-fi sound with his vegan powers, and the fight with Roxy has more metallic, sharper sounds that surround the audience.
All those belt whips have been meticulously panned around the room and they're flying past you.
And the final fight has more video game sound effects than any other point in the film. Almost every sword swing has some kind of glitchy digital sound to match it, and when Ramona falls down the stairs, we hear this. It sounds like she's taking damage. We even get the Street Fighter announcer. Edgar Wright has always used sound to exaggerate mundane activities, but in Scott Pilgrim he takes this a step further, using sounds to make an already hyper-real world even more stimulating. He doesn't seem like a director who treats sound as something to be done in post, rather it's built into his scripts. He shoots with sound design in mind.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now I got to tell you about...
His more grounded films have to rely on the diegetic sounds of the world, like the loading of a gun or the revving of an engine. But Scott Pilgrim isn't bound by this realism.
Hey, I'm talking to you, Scott Pilgrim.
The film blurs the line between fantasy and reality, giving him free rein to go crazy with the sound design, matching the video game effects with video game sounds, and matching the dialogue with subtle sounds which act as cues to elevate the impact.
I got to second base last night.
Sound design can be both in your face and subtle, and Scott Pilgrim knows when to use a light touch and when to go all out. It's used to heighten the editing, visual effects, and dialogue.
Shut the f*** up, Julie.
And all of this combines to create a unique sonic identity that no other film really matches.